As a targeted individual, I think we all go through those moments of confusion and wondering, why is this happening to me? Why are people trying to destroy me? Why are people that I don't know or people that I've only loved and been good to? Why are my own family members that should be protecting me and defending me seeking to destroy me? Why don't they want me to have any happiness or growth or success? Why don't they want me to have relationships and support and love? Why don't people want me to feel safe and accepted and welcomed? Why don't they think that I'm deserving of being treated with respect and dignity like they feel they are? And it can be very confusing as a targeted individual to understand what's going on, because often we just keep to ourselves and focus on trying to have a good life and build a life, and we don't bother anyone. Yet some people are willing to literally destroy themselves to destroy us, and it's a very confusing time. But I've come to understand, as I step back and look at the bigger picture with a bird's eye view, that I believe that those of us who are targeted individuals have a call, have a purpose that is greater than our own life goals. I think that we are here and experience the hardships that we experience because our situation tests the hearts and weighs the hearts of those around us, those in our church groups, in our family groups, in our co-working situation, in our communities, all of the people in our lives, and those who are decision makers involved in the situation, those who hold titles and are officials, are all being tested in our gang stalking situations. It's a test to see, will they participate in the lies and the gossip and the smear campaign? Or do they have integrity and good character and courage and stand up for what's right? It tests those who will either accept or decline bribes, choose to accept participation in unethical behavior and corruption, or those who would choose to be courageous and have integrity. It really reveals the character and the nature of all those who are involved, and it exposes on a larger scale the businesses, the agencies, the organizations, the councils, the officials, the leaders that are not safe in community based upon how they choose to respond in these situations. And like many of you, we discover that we're completely on our own to stay safe, to get through it, to survive. It's not like we can pick up the phone and call family for help. We're being attacked at every direction in every area of our life and literally just trying to survive. And we have to be our own advocate. Often we have to do our own investigative work to even figure out what's going on and who we need to protect ourselves from. For me, I had to put myself in my own form of witness protection because I couldn't get help from law enforcement. They wouldn't even receive evidence of attempts on my life, let alone help relocate me and make sure I was safe and protected from people that were engaging in very dangerous behavior, not only to destroy me emotionally, financially, but also physically. And as we're going through that and advocating for self and just trying to survive, we realize we are all alone in that survival journey, and we really learn how strong we are. We become very resilient and solution-based to figure out how to get by in situations that are intended to literally destroy us. And I am so thankful for my faith, for my testimony and belief system and scripture and prayer, because I would have never made it without that. And my ability to fall to my knees and cry out to God and plea for help and ideas and solutions is what saved me. He strengthened me and edified me and uplifted me and protected me and helped me come up with ideas and paths and warned me of danger, helped me to know who to stay away from. It really strengthened my ability and my trust to rely upon him because he was all I had. He was literally all I had. And I'm so grateful for the examples in the scriptures of other targeted individuals that have shown the way and show us that we're not alone. Jesus Christ was a prime example of a targeted individual. He was wrongfully persecuted and never did anything unkind or cruel or wrong. He received an unjust trial, an unjust crucifixion. He was betrayed by everyone he'd ever loved and served and was kind to, much like many of us. And he discovered the Judas in his life, and our targeting experience reveals who the Judases are in our own life. Those who were one way to our face but betrayed us behind the scenes. And it helps us to know who to stay safe from, that if it hadn't been for our targeting situation, we may not have ever known otherwise. It also reveals the Peters in our lives, those that know of our character, know the truth, know of our goodness, know of their interactions with us, yet participate in the smear campaign or don't come to our rescue and protect us and defend us, that deny the truth of who we are, just like Peter did with Jesus Christ. And as these hearts are tested and weighed of all those around us, they're being given a choice, whether they fall into the temptation to follow the larger group or to have the courage to stand up for what's right, even if it's just them doing the right thing. Do they choose to participate in a smear campaign and lies and gossip, or do they shut it down? Do they accept bribes and slip things through the cracks and call on favors and network in a corrupt and unethical way? Or do they report those that do? It really is a test for everyone involved in a gang stalking situation. And we see sibling rivalry, family jealousy, and envy play out so much in targeting situations. Just like in the story of Cain and Abel, sibling jealousy led to the death of one of the siblings. In the story of Joseph, again, jealousy. His brothers, Joseph's brothers, didn't want to get their hands dirty by killing their brother that they were jealous of, so their first plan was to leave him for dead. And as a targeted individual, that's exactly what happens to us. Our loved ones, the people that were supposed to protect us and love us and care about us, leave us for dead. They leave us to be attacked by those who are engaging in nefarious criminal rings and conspiracies and gang stalking us, attacking us, and trying to ruin and destroy us. And that's exactly what happened with Joseph. But yet his brothers decided, actually, let's make a profit off of our brother instead and sell him. We'll sacrifice him and sell him into slavery and fill our pockets. And that again is a storyline that many of us experience, where we're sacrificed for financial gain. And in situations where a community group has become so corrupt, so wicked, God has no choice but to cleanse. In the days of Noah, God cleansed the earth through a flood and to cleanse the earth of wickedness. In the case of Sodom and Gomorrah, again, sin and corruption had overtaken that community, and so God had to destroy the wicked. And Sodom and Gomorrah is often associated with primarily sexual sin, but the reality is that was just part of the corruption. Depravity, unwillingness to feed the poor and needy and help them, an unwelcoming unacceptance of foreigners and outsiders, all were part of that community. The corruption was great in many capacities in Sodom and Gomorrah. And when there is a targeted individual being gang stalked, it reveals the Sodom and Gomorrah in their story. The corrupt church organizations, the corrupt officials, the corrupt leaders, the corrupt cities, the communities, medical providers. It reveals everyone who has fallen into that dark path, who, when their heart was tested and weighed, chose wrong. And though we wouldn't wish to be the sacrifice to reveal and identify where there is cleansing needed, our stories often highlight larger scale corruption in situations. And by doing so, it helps protect future victims, because if there are those in community that are willing to commit perjury and falsify records and set people up wrongfully for crimes and wrongfully investigate them and try to do harm to community members when, as a leader, they're being trusted to have the best good intentions to serve the needs of the people that they serve in a good and positive way, and reveal themselves as being a danger to community. It reveals those who pose a danger to others in the here and now in our gang stalking situations, as well as for future potential victims. And so even though our suffering is great, our story, our situation may help prevent and expose those who would do harm to others in the future. And in my case, many have been exposed. It's not a secret what has occurred, and all the legal violations, the human rights violations, all of the misconduct of so many participants and players, and so many that knew what was going on and chose not to behave courageously and with integrity. And it's really interesting to see, because some are smart and are starting to remove themselves from the snake pit and separate themselves, and are choosing to take a different path. And really, because of the magnitude and scale of my story, my case, it will be historical because of how many people chose to participate in this conspiracy. It will be remembered by many, and as will be a case that goes down in history. And it's unfortunate that many chose that would be part of their life story, that they were a participant in that. But I pray for them every day, because it's never too late to change directions in life and to repent and to become accountable and to acknowledge wrongdoing and try to remedy it, and to no longer choose to go down that path. And sadly, even though there are a world stage watching and large, powerful eyes watching them, some are continuing to keep trying to cover up what they've done, even though it's exposed. Some are still trying to silence and do harm. But the reality is, what they're doing is proving that there is little to no hope for them to ever be a trusted part of community and safe again. Those that choose to acknowledge their wrongful behavior and take accountability are demonstrating that they have the ability to maybe perhaps one day be safe and trusted again. But those that don't take accountability, unfortunately, are making it loud and clear how their heart is weighed and the purity that lacks within them, and that they're somebody that poses future risk to others. And I certainly wouldn't have chosen this for my life, but if my story, my suffering can prevent others from falling victim to corrupt and unethical leaders and institutions and players that choose greed, that choose unethical behavior, that choose envy, that choose ego, if I can help prevent others from going through this, then it was worth it. And I came out of it a better version of myself. My faith is stronger. I'm happier in spite of what they've done. Taking things from me doesn't affect me the way I think they thought it would. The people that spoke on me and that attacked me didn't know me at all. They don't understand my resilience. They don't understand how I respond to things. They don't know that I am someone who's very much strengthened in difficult circumstances. And for that, I am grateful, because I've only grown into a better version of myself despite their efforts to destroy and do harm to me. And I've really learned to understand my own abilities to survive and to navigate situations that I shouldn't have been able to if it weren't for God helping me and guiding me along the way. And so I would encourage all other targeted individuals, on those days where you feel nothing but despair and depleted and just wish for a boring, simple life. Why did this have to happen? Why can't I have a loving family? Why couldn't the people that I went to church with be good in nature? Why would they do this? Why would I be stolen from? Why would they try to play monkey in the middle with what belongs to me? Why is there so much envy and greed and hatred and corruption in this world? But the truth is, we're here for a purpose, and whether we like it or not, it can be for a good purpose. If we don't fight it and we trust and grow through it as we go through it, we'll be okay. And I just would encourage you in that way.